Let's start with this latest news, right? This is what Bloomberg put out yesterday evening out of DC, that the idea is to advance two separate measures in a single procedural vote. We actually had David Sachs, the crypto czar, on the show a couple of weeks ago where we put this idea to him. What do you make of that structure and the impact that it might have?
Yeah, it's important that they're able to bring the two bills to the floor, but also have them separate so that the Genius Act can move on its own and be signed into law. I think the House is very committed to having both stablecoin legislation and market structure legislation done before the August recess. This allows them to do that, while also freeing up Genius to move directly to the president.
How consequential is the movement of these two pieces of legislation combined as one in sort of the history of how crypto and the crypto industry and the underlying technology has built up in this country and around the world, frankly?
Yeah, this is a pivotal moment, and I think it's pretty historic where we are. We have two very important pieces of legislation moving through Congress at the same time that will have enormous impact on how this technology and the businesses that have layered on it, how they are regulated. It's rare that Congress has two pieces of legislation in the same industry moving at the same time. So I think that is historic in and of itself. But given how far the industry has come, just a few years ago, they were facing enforcement, lack of clarity, almost a hostile regulatory environment. And now we have a crypto administration, a pro-crypto Congress, and we're going to see major legislation put into place that will provide a framework for this industry.
You say a hostile regulatory environment. Does the content of these two bills provide the sort of safeguards and ethical safety net that many in the industry and Democrats also were calling for in the writing of it?
It does, and it provides a framework for the industry to abide by regulations. I think, previously they were trying to be regulated. They wanted to be regulated. They were trying to walk in the door of the regulators to say, what can we do to follow rules? And they were being met with enforcement cases. Now they're going to have a framework they can follow so they can come under the regulatory sphere. That's both very helpful for the industry because it provides the certainty they need to continue to be the innovators that they are, but it also gives a lot of safeguards to those who want to be in this market, to retail participants, to those who are buying and selling crypto. Those safeguards are missing right now, and this framework will provide safeguards.
Summer, what the industry keeps telling me, what your association members keep telling me, is this is about dollarization. Do you share that thesis?
Yeah, for stablecoins, for sure. It's very important that we have the stablecoin legislation. There's a lot of, national security interest in having a stablecoin regime here in the United States, making sure the U.S. dollar is the backing for stablecoins, and to continue to have the U.S. be the kind of the first place where stablecoin issuers want to go and want to use the U.S. dollar as their currency backing for those coins.